The Detroit Lions make a smart move and really hedge their bet when it comes to the defensive line, and they signed David Bada. And why this is interesting is because he's a German-born player who's part of the International Pathways program. More on that in just a second, but it's important because we know that DJ Reader is out at that position, and so you need some depth there. You need to understand where he's going to be at. So in the meantime, you can grab a guy like this who, let's take a look at his production. He's been with the Washington Commanders for the past 4 seasons, been on and off there. He's only made 2 game appearances. However, that was in the 2022 season, but last year he missed the entire season because he tore his triceps. So there's been an injury thing there. He missed all of last season. But what's cool is because he's part of the international pathway program, he does not count against the Lions' 90-man roster count. So remember, the Lions did that last year with Max Parsher, and they carried him all on the practice squad the entire season. So it's huge because it doesn't count against 90. It could be something, could not. Gives you a security blanket and kind of an insurance plan. If DJ Reader's out longer than we think, you know that DJ Reader's not going to be participating in training or in preseason games. So it takes the load off of Broderick Martin and Kyle Pico, because you don't want like the same dudes out there playing all the time. You need some rotational bodies. So I think this is really good to get this guy in there. He's 6'4", almost 300 pounds. Again, is he going to be our star player that leads us to the Super Bowl? No, but it's really important to get somebody in there to take some reps, and never know, just because, hey, he lost all of last season. Maybe he comes back healthier, stronger, better than ever. We'll see. Now, day 3 observations of training camp. And I think the Lions, it says here that like the intensity is building at the right time. So another day where we get to kind of see what's going on before really the hitting and the physicality steps up and the pads come on. So we'll look at Hendon Hooker's progress in this article. That's what I wanted to focus on. And so the quarterback, Hendon Hooker, James Houston, and Emmanuel Mosley all returned to second team at their respective positions, leaving Nate Sudfeld, Betts, and Amik Robertson mainly on the third team. So interesting, right? Because we kind of know the starters, if you will, but then it's like, what's up with James Houston? These are the guys that we're really interested in. James Houston, we just can't wait to see what he does for the Lions in the 2024 season, because he's so important. We need that edge rusher, but is he the guy? Don't know. We'll find out. So, additionally, no Jameson Williams. The Lions gave Donovan Peoples-Jones and Caden Davis some work with the top unit. Okay. Again, another guy that we've been looking for, wanting more about, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Khalif Raymond joining Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, Antoine Green, and Darius Fountain. So again, Donovan Peoples-Jones hasn't been in there. He's a guy that we all just kind of penciled in to take over for Reynolds. We'll see what happens. On Thursday, the physicality was elevated for the first time in minicamp. And then shells on Friday, and we saw a few physical things happen. 11 on 11, or mixing it up. The competition slowly grew, eventually bubbling over with Brock Wright and Derek Barnes, grabbing each other's face mask and needed to be separated. Love it. So it's just starting to happen. Like, we are into training camp, because we just talk so much about OTAs, rookie minicamp. Finally, it's happening where, let's go. We're in the right place now. Okay, Hendon Hooker. This is where I wanted to get to. Talk about Hendon Hooker for a second. We know that if Jared Goff is lost for the season, we can't win. But we know that if Jared Goff loses a month to something, man, Hendon Hooker need you to come in, win 1 or 2 games. That's it. That's what we're looking for from the backup position. But early on in the spring, it's like, man, not looking good, right? So we need Hendon Hooker to progress. He saw a level of higher competition to test his progress. And so during the 11-on-11 drills, Hooker made arguably his most mature play of camp. After feeling pressure from the inside, He spinned out of pressure, escaped the pocket. He immediately squared himself to the line of scrimmage, got his head up, located a target, and delivered a perfect strike to Jalen Calhoun. Let's go. Hooker is athletic. He's got a cannon. Like, I think we just kind of forgotten about that. I think we've kind of just forgotten what he was doing at Tennessee that year before he got hurt. Like, this dude, once he figures it out, like, I have hope in him. I just don't. I was so surprised at the negativity in the spring. It was like, oh, shoot. And so yeah, he's really good. I mean, geez, just if you want to get yourself pumped up, just go look at his last season with Tennessee is just unbelievable. Flick of the wrist, throwing the ball. But this is all new. I get it. On the day, Hooker connected with a variety of players for touchdowns in the red zone drill. Shane Zylstra shook loose. Good to see him back, by the way. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Vaki. Let's go. They're just we're so deep this year. It's just crazy. So love to see that. And then some quick hits. Jack Fox, don't forget we still have him. Best punter in the game. Oh yeah, by the way. Blitzing isn't going away, and we saw several players get in position to make sacks because of it. Mosley, Betts, Wingo, to name a few standouts. Wingo, another. Remember, we get him from LSU late in the draft. He's showing up in day 3 of training camp. Love to see that. And then remember the RB3 battle where we got Reynolds caught multiple touchdown passes from Goff. Okay. While Vaki put Houston in a blender behind the line of scrimmage. Okay. That's Reynolds or Vaki. I think they end up keeping both, honestly. I don't know why, but I just don't see them cutting Reynolds. They love Reynolds. Catch of the day. Goff with St. Brown. Go figure. That required St. Brown extend and drag his feet to secure the score. So it's so crazy the difference in a couple of years. The Lions are just a different team, obviously. But Dan Campbell, Jared Goff talked about it. Think about it. I mean, it makes total sense. I know the teams, and we were those teams for many years where like you get a new quarterback coach, new scheme, new all. It's like, oh, new. You're just excited with the new. And I get that. But then it's like, hey, don't forget, Jared Goff mentioned it. This is year 4 with Ben Johnson, year 4 with all the continuity. So they're not installing things. They're just working on what they've been doing. Think about that. All right, here's the play. How do we do it? All right, yep, good. Run it. They've run that play 500 times. Or, you know what I mean? Like that scheme, that idea, they know what's going on versus, all right, I get it. I can see what we're doing. No, we're going layers. Jared Goff said we're going deep on the layers. And everybody's right there with them. It's like, yep, I see what we're doing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Love to see what the Lions are doing here. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. And you know, one other thing I was looking at was let me see if I can find it. The Lions. Oh yeah, here we go. This is just a quick little note here. Our old pal Jerry Jacobs signing with the Rams. Good for him. Hadn't signed yet. Finally signs with the Rams. My point in saying this is he hadn't signed with anybody. This was our starting corner. And he's just like, oh yeah, let's sign him. Like he's like the 90th guy on the Rams team. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not a priority free agent. It was just like, oh yeah, we got an injury. Let's pick him up. And so we go from that to now what the Lions have in the secondary is completely different. The depth, everything that the Lions have now is so much better than it's ever been in our lifetimes. And that's what is kind of crazy because, oh man, I don't know. So again, and you've probably seen this. I know you've seen this by now, but my thoughts on this, Michael Badgley out for the season. It's like, okay, in a weird way, it's like, I don't want to say good. I mean, Michael Badgley, that sucks, but okay, good. Now let's just go forth with our kicker and we don't have to wonder. So we get what we all want. So it's like Badgley, for whatever reason, he was the guy. He wasn't the guy. So Dan Campbell said, I feel awful for him. He's worked his tail off to get this season. He was having a good spring. He was ready to camp. He says it's tough. Badgley won the kicking competition in the middle of the 23 season. and made some significant kicks along the way. It's up and down. And then we go sign Bates. So the Lions signed Bates at the conclusion of OTAs after the former Michigan Panthers kicker had a successful year in the UFL. While Bates didn't kick field goals in college or most of high school, his big leg was on display. Dude's just unbelievable. So in Thursday's practice, Bates took all the field goal reps in camp, appearing to make 6 of 6 field goal, long of 52. Despite the strong start, Bates said after Thursday's practice he's not getting ahead of himself. So Bates is in the driver's seat by default. So thank goodness we got Bates, because we let go of Turner and he goes and signs immediately with the Packers, I think. I don't think he's doing well with the Packers, which is surprising because he was doing well with us, but we decided to go with Bates. So now we need to find another dude to just take reps. And that's the good thing. I think there's kickers kind of all over out there. I could be wrong on that, but it feels like there's kickers galore. Not galore, but there's kickers you can find on the street versus a D tackle. A little bit better. I'm not saying they're everywhere, and I'm not saying you can just grab anybody, but the Lions are in an interesting spot that they have a Super Bowl ready team and yet might be relying on a kicker that didn't kick in college. And it's like, yikes. That makes me a little bit nervous, but we'll see how it shakes out. See who's out there. I could see us trading for a kicker because right now in camp, there's 2 kickers for every team. So you could be monitoring, which team in the NFL right now has 2 really good kickers. And so you're like, hey, Cincinnati, 7th round pick, give us that kicker you're going to cut. Which one are you going to cut? We'll have them. That's what the Lions could do as well. Part with a late round pick, because it's that important, because we have a team that's able to really go out and capable of winning a Super Bowl. So it's going to be hard to just not have a good kicker. Okay, another one really quick, and then we're also, the Detroit Lions have reportedly worked out another kicker in the aftermath of Badgley's season-ending injury. So here we go right here. So this is Smites, and he's another UFL kicker. Sheesh. We got to trade for somebody. Get some. I don't know what we're going to do. So according to NFL insider Aaron Wilson, in addition to working out Smits, the Lions also worked out kickers Matt Amendola, Lucas Harvest, and Matthew McCrane. Okay, so there we go. We're looking at kickers galore. Let's go. Bring them in. I don't know why. The kicker position is the only thing that Brad Holmes has not gotten right. And nobody's mad about it, because it's like, you can't fix everything. You've literally turned everything into gold. So I get that, but the kicker position's the only one. The defensive end position, but it's like, okay, he drafted Aiden Hutchinson, like a top 3 defensive end. So to say that he didn't address the defensive end positions, kind of, you got a top 3 defensive end. What the heck? Oh, you want 2 of them? Like, okay, yeah, that would be nice. That's the only thing. That and kicker, the defense, he's adjusted and figured out and filled areas that have been weak ever since he got here. And that's all you can ask for. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We do videos all about the Lions, daily videos. And man, we're just getting so close to the real stuff. It's crazy. Like, summer's still going pretty hard, but once you get into August, it's like, boy, school shopping, man, used to hate school shopping. Just hated it, because it's like, we're going back. Summer's over. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.